It's time for your first talk. And remember, I like to call it a talk rather than a speech because that's all you're really doing is just talking to your friends or talking to a group of people. There are two goals for this first talk, and one is varied eye contact, and the second is conversational delivery. Let's talk about the eye contact first. The great thing about good, solid eye contact is even when you're nervous, if you're making eye contact with your audience, you look more confident and you look more comfortable. So here are some of the basic do's and don'ts for eye contact. First of all, don't look over your audience's heads. You may have heard that you can get away with this, but in reality, unless you've got an audience in a big darkened room and you're all lit up at the front, they're going to be able to tell that you're not looking at them, that they're looking over your heads. Especially most audiences that you are going to be speaking to of anywhere from 3 to 30 people, it's obvious. So look at your audience in the eye. Also, don't pick a single person in the audience and focus on them. Sometimes you have a friend or somebody that you feel supported by out there, and it's okay to make eye contact with them, but don't make all of your eye contact with that one single person. You need to look around the room some. Don't be an oscillating robot. Oscillating, I used to have this car that air conditioner vents went back and forth and back and forth. It was really nice for an air conditioner in a car, but it's not good when you're a speaker. You're going to get a crick in your neck, and plus it looks strange with your head revolving back and forth like that. Here's what you do want to do. Make varied eye contact. You're going to pick somebody in your audience towards the left side of the room or the right side of the room, doesn't matter where you start. Look at them for a couple of seconds. Look at somebody else on the other side of the room for a couple of seconds, somebody maybe in the middle of the room for a couple of seconds. And then all that while, you've got your notes in your hand, and in between people, every couple people, go back down to your notes, look at those for a few seconds, figure out where you are, look back up at somebody else. So you're going to just be looking at different people around the room for a couple of seconds each and revolving that between them and your notes. For those of you who are recording your speeches, you need to practice these same varied eye contact techniques. Your camera person is just one of your audience members. Look at the other audience members as well as the camera person. Don't be a TV anchor show person staring into the camera the whole time. I want you to still try to make varied eye contact among all your audience members. The other goal you have for this speech is conversational delivery. As tempting as it might be, do not write out your speech word for word. The big problem with this is you want to sound like you're talking naturally, like you're just talking to a group of people. And when you write out your speech word for word, your language takes on this more English paper style talking and not how you really talk in real life. The other weird thing is your voice has this sing-songy quality when you're reading out loud. That's not how most of us really talk. So I don't want you to write out your speech word for word. Also, along the same lines, try to avoid complete sentences in your notes, the notes that you're going to be giving your speech off of. It's okay to have a complete sentence here and there, but for the most part, what I want you to do are use key words and phrases. So main ideas, phrases that describe little things that you might want to elaborate on here and there. The only place you really need to use complete sentences are for really detailed information or maybe a quote that you're giving or something like that. But for the most part, keywords and phrases are going to serve you very well. The other thing, you've got to practice it out loud. That's the key to making it sound conversational, but also really crisp and saying everything you want to say at the same time. They say that depending on how many minutes your speech is, that's how many times you should practice out loud. So for a 1 to 2 minute speech, you'd at least need to practice it out loud 1 or 2 times. The other important thing about practicing it out loud is sometimes it sounds different in your head or on your notes than it does when it actually comes out your mouth. So you need to hear it coming out your mouth out loud and get used to the sound of your voice talking in a quiet room, and that will help it go a lot smoother when you actually have to do it. So again, for your first talk, the basic goals are varied eye contact and conversational delivery. Good luck, and I look forward to hearing those talks later on this week.